hardcore vote blue no matter who Democrats are mad at him for saying he's going to vote for Biden. It's not enough. Like, he has to go out of his way to vociferously endorse a candidate who he's not excited about, doesn't like, but is specifically voting for because he wants to vote against the other guy.
Ana Kasparian is getting torn to shreds by the Young Turks fans and by the woke mob in general for some of the stances that she's been taking recently. And this video might be the worst one out of all of them. This is them talking about The View trying to pressure Charlemagne, who is a radio host, I believe, to endorse Joe Biden. When Charlemagne is trying to say that both candidates are trash, I don't want to, endorse either one, which is, it's your right to think that. It's better. It's a better take than just saying Joe Biden is better than Trump and, saying stuff like Bill Maher would say, where I would vote for Joe Biden's head in a jar over Donald Trump and stuff like that. Absolutely wild. But Ana Kasparian's take on the whole thing, going against what The View and Sunny Hostin, Whoopi Goldberg and them are trying to do, is getting her canceled once again by the woke mob and by the Young Turks supporters, which are now turning to hate watchers. Let's check this out.
The reality is, I think both candidates are trash. So but I am going to vote in November, and I'm going to vote my best interest, and I'm going to vote who I think, can preserve democracy. So if I think both candidates are trash, and I don't feel like, endorsing one, would you rather me endorse an individual or endorse the fact that, hey, we need to go out here and protect?
Real quick, this whole keep democracy going. Who can help democracy survive? Like, dude, neither one of these candidates are going to overthrow democracy. Like, let's be realistic. This stuff has been so just hyper sensationalized to where each candidate is trying to say the other side. Like, we've now gotten to the point where, like, it's not about policy anymore. They're just targeting the actual, like, brain dead people out there who genuinely think that one of these presidents can overthrow democracy. Like, come on, dude, be real. Like, these guys are not, dude, they're not going to overthrow democracy. Do you understand? Like, this is not Star Wars, dude. You're not going to overthrow democracy. Like, you're not going to overthrow, like, I know that crazy things have happened in the last few years, but the fact that people have gotten to the point where they're just sitting on talk shows and saying that with a straight face, and that's just like normal conversation. Like, yeah, I think both these candidates are just absolute trash. And, I'm just going to have to vote for the one that's going to preserve democracy. Like, what? That's what we're voting for people on now? We're not going to vote, for the person who could maybe secure the southern border, stop all the trafficking that's happening at the southern border, maybe stop all the crime that's going rampant in the country, and all the other things that everybody lists off, all the talking points that are really bored at this point. We're voting for the one that's going to preserve democracy. Come on, dude. Are you that stupid? This is not a sci-fi movie, dude. Come on. Like, let's grow up a little bit.
Democracy.
The pressure campaign to get Charlemagne the God to endorse Biden continues, with the ladies of The View this time around pushing him to support who he feels is, as you just heard, a trash candidate. Now, when asked if he thinks Biden will eke out a win anyway, here's how he responded.
Well, and I'm curious at this juncture, 6 months out, who do you think wins?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, it's a toss-up at this point. I really don't know.
If you enjoy content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
I think the person who goes out there and probably energizes their base the best at this point. And, when you look at somebody like President Biden, it feels like his base is pretty pissed off at him for a number of reasons.
Help him out. Well, no, look, I actually...
Help him out by doing what?
Help him out by doing what? That's what Charlemagne said in response to Sunny Hostin, who was like, help him out, go out there, campaign for him, get people, enthusiastic about voting for Biden. I feel like that might be Biden's job, no? I mean, maybe I'm being unfair to Biden. What do you think, Sean?
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do
it. I don't care about pausing for your honest truth, bro. Let's move on.
His approach to Biden, I mean, it's pretty clear from that video, but I don't know what he's been saying up to this point. Yeah, look, he's under no obligation to go and campaign for literally anyone. I don't think anyone is. But the thing is, like, the terms he put it in was that he wants to differentiate between endorsing a candidate or supporting a candidate and endorsing protecting democracy, which I assume he means having Biden win instead of Trump, right?
Well, hold that thought, because to me, it's pretty damn obvious that he's gonna vote for Biden. He said something similar like what you're about to hear before. So Let's hear it.
You endorsed Joe Biden back in 2020, but this time around you say you're not going to endorse anybody. Charlemagne, now is not the time, in my opinion, to sit this one out.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I never said I was sitting it out.
What you gonna do?
I'm definitely voting in November, but what I like to focus on is issues, not individuals. Like, you know, when
but
you
why not endorse?
Huh?
Why not endorse Biden?
Because if I'm sitting here telling my listeners that, you know, you have somebody out there who is a threat to democracy, you have somebody out there who said they want to, you know, suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. You saw this person, you know, try to lead an attempted coup of this country, and I'm telling
What the hell, bro, we're ruined. We're done. We're done for. We are absolutely done for. Do you hear, like this is how people in this country today are making decisions on who runs the country. The things that are coming out of Charlemagne's mouth right now, we're done. We're screwed. This is who is leading. These are the leading voice. Why are they even talking about politics? Number one, they're talking about like they're completely serious when their whole, like, the only thing that they can talk about is, oh, we have to vote for the person who's going to preserve democracy. One of these people, they tried to overthrow the Constitution so that they could reverse the election results, and they led a coup. And bro, none of that happened. Literally none of that happened. But they act like this is just like common sense history. Like, this was in the history books since 1920. None of this happened, dude. Like, I don't, like, what the hell are you talking about right now? And this is how he's basing his voting decision. This is how he's telling his audience to base their voting decisions as well, on things that never even happened.
and people that this guy is a threat to democracy. Have you ever read Project 25? There's only 2 candidates out there.
By the way, this Project 25 stuff, I'm sorry I keep pausing. It has to be said. Like, this video is burning me up for some reason. The Project 25 stuff is the biggest psyop, the biggest propaganda piece that I have ever seen in my entire life. Go read through this Project 25 stuff. Like, dude, it's nothing. It's a complete nothing burger, but they name it Project 25, so it sounds all cool and ominous and like it's some big thing. Dude, do you really think that all of the Republican candidates could come together to put together something like that? They all hate each other. They're not coming together to do something like that. The only people that could do that are the people at the very top. And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about the very top, above them. You know what I'm talking about.
So if I'm saying that about this individual, the choice is clear, right?
So like, this is now what, like the second or third time we're covering Charlemagne's comments. To me, it's very obvious he's going to vote for Biden. He's just drawing a distinction between voting for Biden and enthusiastically endorsing him versus quietly voting for him, but refusing to enthusiastically endorse him, right? I can't believe that hardcore vote blue no matter who Democrats are mad at him for saying he's going to vote for Biden. It's not enough. Like, he has to go out of his way to vociferously endorse a candidate who he's not excited about, doesn't like, but is specifically voting for because he wants to vote against the other guy. Okay, no candidate is entitled to anything from voters, whether the voters are celebrities, whether the voters are just ordinary working class people who are private citizens. No one is entitled, no single candidate is entitled to a damn thing. And I can't stand that sense of entitlement.
It's not even that they think that the candidates are entitled to something. It's the woke mob that themselves think they are entitled to everything. And they are entitled to other people's opinions. Like, if you are not, this is why Ana Kasparian got canceled and gets canceled basically weekly at this point, because if you don't go all the way, every single opinion that you have has to be all the way woke, the maximum extreme. You have to turn up the dial all the way, or else you're wrong and you're kicked out of the mob. That's how this happens. This isn't just about voting for Biden or Trump. This isn't just about endorsing passionately or voting quietly for Joe Biden. It's not just about that. It's about the trans issue, right? It's not just okay to say, oh yeah, I'm cool if you're trans, just kind of, don't shove it down my throat, please. That's not okay. You're kicked out of the woke mob if you say that, and you're just canceled in general if you say that. But you have to go as far as to say, oh, it's totally fine for like 3-year-olds to get taught about trans people. Yeah, like, of course we should do that. Actually, it's not just fine, it's necessary. That's a necessity for little kids to be taught about. Like, that's when you're okay. If you say anything less than that, and that's not just for that issue, for everything, then you're kicked out of the woke mob. And that's what's happening to Charlemagne. Sunny Hostin and The View are trying to kick him out because he won't strongly endorse Biden. And shout out to Ana Kasparian, who I'm sure is going to vote for Biden, for calling that out.
like this befuddlement that we're seeing Charlemagne met with, because he's voting for Biden, but isn't doing it with a massive smile on his face while screaming from the rooftops that he loves Biden and everyone else should vote for him. Again, Biden's not entitled to that. And if you want to get voters enthused to vote for Biden, well, you should focus on the Biden campaign and what they're doing to get voters enthusiastic. But more importantly, listen, I think a lot of Democratic voters, John, including young people who really turned out to get Biden elected in 2020, have been telling Biden what they want, and Biden has ignored them. Is that Charlemagne's fault? I just think it's all ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, that's the right answer,
right?
That is the right answer.
And also for Sunny to be like,
I don't care what this guy has to say. I do care. Like obviously I disagree that, I'm sure Ana Kasparian and everyone at the Young Turks thinks that Joe Biden is a better candidate. Have to disagree there, but I do appreciate her calling out at least the woke left on trying to force people to endorse Biden when he just doesn't deserve the endorsement. And if you look at the comments on this video, it's the same stuff from the last few videos. Like, they're very, very angry at what Ana Kasparian has been saying the last few years, or I guess really few months. The Young Turks, TTY, the Turks Young, I guess this person says, has totally turned into a crap show because they don't just completely agree with everything else, with everything that the woke mob has to say. Anybody but Trump, TBH, he's the worst. Charlemagne never liked Biden no matter what, but nobody needs to pressure anybody to vote for anybody. Yeah, I agree there. I'll vote for Biden, but man, does he suck. The other guy is a giant a-hole. It's just that, the comments are just, how you would expect the Young Turks comments to be, and how they've been for the last 9 to 12 months of Ana Kasparian actually speaking some truth and actually exercising common sense in her brain. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Ana Kasparian's take here after The View tries to pressure Charlemagne the God to endorse Biden, and he basically just says no, but he is going to vote for him anyway. That's just not enough for the woke mob anymore. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this whole Ana Kasparian situation.